Notre Dame was just left out of the college football playoffs because they do not play in a conference. And today I'm going to put Notre Dame in each of the Power 4 conferences in college football 26 and see how they do. Will they run the table in each conference to show how dominant they truly are? Or will they be left out of the playoffs entirely because they can't handle a true conference schedule? There's only one way to find out. Like and subscribe so you don't miss when the next video comes out, and comment what conference you want me to put Notre Dame in next. I have put Notre Dame in the ACC conference since they did not make the playoffs and they declined a bowl invite. I'm going to go through the 2025 college football season and simulate what it would be like if Notre Dame was in each of the Power 4 conferences. So we're starting with the ACC. Obviously, the schedule is going to be a bit different. The outer conference games are still all the same. USC, Texas A&M, and Navy. Obviously, we're going to be playing Miami still, but this is a conference game now. Let's get into the 2025 season. One thing I did want to mention is I'm not going to be playing any of these games. I'm going to be simming the entire season. Now, I might jump into the big games, or I might jump into games and see if they're close late, and we might just spectate, but I'm not going to be playing these games. This is solely just a sim to see how Notre Dame would do in these conferences in this video game, but also, we're only doing one season for each conference. So game 1 against Navy, I'm honestly just going to sim until we play Miami. I don't see a reason to jump into this. Just shouldn't be close. Well, it was a close game against Navy, but we still won. Now we play Miami, and I'll jump into this, but I'm just going to be spectating, which these teams are similar overall, so this could be a fairly close game, even in sim. Now, I do believe Miami was the home team in real life, but since I put Notre Dame into the ACC conference, when they generated the schedule, it put Notre Dame at home. Not much I can do about that. Coming out of half, we are dominating Miami 17-0. Okay, Miami finally gets on the board, and it is a close game with 3 minutes left. I think this is where we jump in. So we have the ball at 2nd and 3 from our 32-yard line. We're only up by 3 with just under 3 minutes left, and we do pick up the first down, handing the ball off to Jeremiah Love. So we can run this clock out if we pick up a first down. We might even pick up 2. 2nd and 6 from the 40. We pick up this first down, and that is basically ball game. And we throw it to the tight end in the flat, and he easily picks up the first down. Should be able just to knee this clock out now. And yeah, this is going to do it. We take a knee and be able to knee the clock out. Although we're lining up in a natural formation on 2nd down, we hand the ball to Jeremiah Love, and he's just a beast. Breaks 4, gets another first down, but he got injured on that play. That's not a good sign. Should have had the backups in. We're just taking a knee. I don't know why you even hand that ball off to him. Just take a knee. Who cares if there's a few seconds left? But that's going to be it. We beat Miami 17-14 for our first conference win on the year. And we are 2-0, the opposite of what Notre Dame was to start the year. They were 0-2. We still have Texas A&M and USC both on their schedule this year, so the out-of-conference tough games are still there. And now we face Texas A&M. We're the higher overall, but they're still a 92 overall team. This is not an easy schedule by any means. We are at home. Notre Dame was home at the beginning of the year, so we're home as well. This would be another great win if they can somehow pull this one out. Texas A&M has taken an early lead at the start of the second quarter. Texas A&M is up 13-0, and we finally get on the board before halftime, but it's not looking good. And we make a field goal to make this a 6-point game again. Texas A&M with the ball, about 4 minutes left, and we're going to jump in here with 3:47 left. We were able to get a stop on defense. We were down 19-13. And we throw the ball to our tight end, who picks up about 15 yards. CJ Carr's having not a very good game, only 107 passing yards with an interception, but we are on the move. And we pass again to the tight end. 9 is wide open. I need to learn who that is, because he has caught every pass in every sim that we've had so far. Surprised we haven't handed the ball off to Jeremiah Love or even gotten it to him yet. And right as I speak, we're manifesting things, but only 4 yards, which is still a lot of time, so you can't complain about 4 yards. Just still moving the ball. So 2nd and 6 in Texas A&M territory, when we just dump it off to the wide receiver, picks up the first down. No, 3rd and inches actually, and it looks like we're running hurry up. I would assume we're just going to hand the ball off to Jeremiah Love here. That's what I would do. Send the tight end in motion, and we know we're passing the ball into tight window, and it's held on. I think that's Jaden Greenhouse. No, that's Jordan Faison. That was a great catch. That was in traffic too. Took a hit. Tight end's in motion again. We're getting close to the 2-minute warning. Throw it to That is Jaden Greenhouse, I believe. I'm surprised we've hardly seen any of Jeremiah Love here. He's a 97 overall, and as I speak it again, they give him the ball. Doesn't pick up the first down, though, but that's fine. I would give it to him again. Just need a first down, don't need anything crazy, and they do, and he doesn't get it. Do you kick a field goal? No, we're going for it. Okay, you're going for it. Now, what do you do here? Do you give the ball back to Jeremiah Love? They don't. He pulls it, and Oh my God. On the read option, CJ Carr pulled it and didn't convert. We still have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they pick up 8 on the first down. This isn't looking too good, not gonna lie. Need a stop here if you want any chance at hope. But the 2-minute warning comes and they pick up a first down. Still have only 2 timeouts. And Marcel Reed pulls it again and picks up 4. 2nd and 6, 1:52, only 1 timeout left. So we'll get the ball. If we get a stop, it'll be close to a minute. But it doesn't matter. They pick up the first down. That's going to seal the game more than likely. And that clock is going to run. And we lose at home to Texas A&M, 19-13. We were not able to pick up a first down on 3rd and inches and 4th and inches. Only handing the ball off to Jeremiah Love once. So our next couple games are against Louisville, Clemson, and then we have a bye, and then we play NC State and USC, and then another bye when we play SMU, Virginia Tech, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. This is not an easy schedule, that's for sure, having Louisville, Clemson, USC, SMU still all left to play. We are a much, much better team than Louisville overall-wise. They are 2-0, we are 12-1, we're ranked 12th, they're 20th. I think I'm just going to sim this. I really don't see us losing to Louisville, and we do defeat them by 3. That was a close game, 31-20. But we do beat Louisville on the road. Now we've got Clemson at home. We're getting all of our tough games basically at home, it feels like. Clemson jumps out to a 3-0 lead, and we score before the end of the first, make it 7-3. Now it's 17-6 going into halftime. We have jumped out to a good lead. Clemson responds a couple more field goals. This is where we're going to jump in on a 4th and 1 punt. Clemson has kicked nothing but field goals this game. They are 4-0, which is kind of funny considering how their season went in real life. But with 3:33 left in the game, up 5, as long as we continue to pick up first downs, we should be able to run the clock out. But that is a loss of 5, and Jeremiah Love is not having a good game at all. 12 carries for only 55 yards. Give the ball to him again, and he loses 2 more, 3rd and 17. Nice thing is, the clock is still running. Clemson has not used a timeout yet. But they still have all 3, and we have to pass. I have a chance at picking up this first down. We throw it to the first down. It's incomplete. Clemson gets a stop and doesn't use a single timeout, and we are only up 5, so that is a massive incompletion. That was a wounded duck that CJ Carr just threw. And we went nothing but backwards on that drive. Lost 7 yards. 3 and out. But Clemson has 2:32 left, all 3 timeouts, but they're starting on their own 13-yard line. Cade, Klubnik, and Dabo will have a lot to get done on this drive to even try to take the lead. And they take a shot on the first play of the drive. On 2nd down, they play action, and he just dumps it down, picks up 6, and gets out of bounds, but we have an injury on the defensive line. So on 3rd and 4, now obviously this is 4-down territory. Well, they could still punt it because they still have the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts. So not truly, but it doesn't matter. They pick up the first down. It wasn't truly 4-down territory, but they pick up the first down anyways. Now clock is still ticking, about to be the 2-minute warning. They better get the snap off, and they do. Another play action. And he just throws it to the flats and gets tackled and loses a yard. They only get a yard on 2nd down. It is now 3rd and 10. This basically, what a dot! Cade Klubnik took a shot, delivered a strike to his receiver. 5 wide, empty backfield, and they throw a slant for about 8-9 yards. And the clock is stopped because of an injury, a defensive injury at that. We stop the clock, but we get a sack. Huge sack, 3rd and 8. The clock is running. They're scrambling to get back to the line. They're running hurry up. I would call a timeout here if I was Clemson, but they choose not to. And Cade drops back, fires, delivers a strike down to the 20. Oh my God, are we going to fumble this game? And we have a bunch of injuries, which stops the clock again. Clemson's just getting lucky. There's so many injuries. What the hell? And Cade throws it down, gets 9 yards. Then now they're just chewing up our defense. I mean, Cade Klubnik is having an early season Heisman moment here. If they score a touchdown, it would be the first touchdown of the game for them. But not only that, it would give them the lead. They get the first down. Cade Klubnik pulls and reaches for it. 1st and goal from the 9. Need a stop from our defense. Clemson still has 2 timeouts left, and we get a sack. Huge. They forced Clemson to use a timeout. 2nd and goal from the 14 now. They still have a minute left. That doesn't really matter. because they only have 3 downs to get in the end zone. And the receiver drops it. He was open, but the corner closed quick and forced an incompletion. Honestly, for us, we would have preferred if he caught that and forced them to either use a timeout or just let the clock run, but they snap. Cade drops back and throws it into the flats, catches it, and only gets 3 yards, 4th and goal from the 11. This is for game. Either they get in the end zone or they turn it over, throws it to the end zone, and it is incomplete. We're going to win. Wow. Holy crap. This game was stressful. From jumping in when they punted us the ball to losing 7 yards and going 3 and out, and then Clemson almost having a crazy comeback drive. Kate Clemson took a shot and delivered a strike down the field, picked up multiple 3rd and longs, but they could not get it done in the red zone, and we are going to be able just to run the clock out, and we're going to be able to send Clemson home with a 17-12 loss. What a game. That was an incredible game. Jeremiah Love was the player of the game. He had a terrible game. Only 53 rushing yards on 15 attempts is not good at all. So we only had 142 total yards of offense. They had 263. It really feels like they outplayed us in every aspect. And we had a turnover. We threw an interception. They didn't have a single one. We somehow pulled this away, truthfully, just because our defense was able to hold them to field goals. They kicked 4 field goals in this game. CJ Carr went 7 for 19, 81 total yards, a 36 completion percentage with 1 touchdown and 1 interception, only 4.2 yards per attempt. That is atrocious stat line from a quarterback. Jeremiah Love went 15 for 53, averaging 3.5 yards, 1 touchdown, and a long of 28. So 28 of his 53 yards came on 1 carry. This offense was bad, I guess. And Eli Raridan had half of CJ Carr's completions went to Eli Raridan. Not a good offensive outing for us at all. Somehow found a way to win, because defense, they were betting for sure, but they did not break. And now we play NC State, who's a 79 overall. Again, I'm just simming this week. We play USC next week, so I'll sim this game, play USC at home. We are the number 2 team in the country. USC is ranked 16, so if we beat them, we could jump up possibly to number 1. Probably not, because it's probably an undefeated team, but let's hop into this game. In real life, this was a close game, and then USC had that fumble on a fake receiver pass, and it just kind of went downhill for them. Right before the end of the first, we were able to score and take the 7-0 lead. And we're going to go up 14-0, 21-0 before halftime. We are dominating USC right now. They kick a field goal, finally get on the board, but that doesn't do anything. We go up 28-3. We dominate USC 28-3. Had offense played way better today. We had 343 yards of offense, held them to 180. CJ Carr went 16 for 29, much better day, 2 touchdowns, 216 passing yards. Jeremiah Love, way better day, 13 for 106, averaged 8 a carry and 1 touchdown. Receiving, it looks like it was Malachi Fields today who led the team in receptions, 5 for 58. Will Pauling led the team in yards with 76 off 4 receptions. He had a touchdown, and Jeremiah Love also had a touchdown off of his lone catch. So in the first CFP rankings, we are ranked 4th behind Texas A&M, who beat us, and they're number 1 in the country. Georgia, who's 7-0, and Oregon, who's 7-1. This week we play SMU, who is not ranked. They're an 87 overall. Honestly, I'm going to sim straight through to Pitt in week 12, and hopefully we get back-to-back wins. And if Pitt is a good record, then I'll jump into that one. So we're ranked 12. Looks like we lost a game. We lost to SMU by 3. No defense, 37-34. And then we beat down Virginia Tech 41-24. Honestly, I was pretty confident in simming this game, but I guess I shouldn't have been. But now we play Pitt, who's 8-1. They're ranked 18th. So conference standings, Clemson's 7-1, and then Pitt's 5-1, and we're 5-1. So this is a huge game. Basically, more than likely, the winner of this game is going to go to the conference championship. So this has huge conference, and that feels weird to say when speaking about Notre Dame. We are way better overall, all-wise, than Pitt, but they are at home. So let's hop into this one, see if we can beat them. This has huge conference implications for us. Again, feels really weird to say that when I'm talking about Notre Dame. Let's go quarter by quarter here. They jump out to a quick 7-0 lead, and we do not respond. And they go up 14-0 going into halftime, 21-0 right before half. We are down big to Pitt right now, who have a way better overall than. And they get an interception. CJ Carr is intercepted. Pitt is up 28-3, and they go up 35-3. This game is pretty much over, it feels like. Yeah, there's no way we're coming back. They go up 38-3, and we get dominated on the road against Pitt. Good God. That basically kills our conference championship hopes. I think, again, still feels very weird to say about Notre Dame, so maybe it's only right we don't make a conference championship game, but we can still hopefully somehow make the playoffs as an at-large bid. Pitt skyrockets up to 14 after beating us. They should be higher, honestly. That's kind of disrespecting them. And we plummet to 23. We are ranked 23. Still ranked. It's not looking good, though. We would need a lot to happen to somehow make the playoffs. Honestly, just going to sim to a week 15 because there's no point. I think we're going to dominate both these teams. So we're ranked 17. Pitt is ranked 16 after losing to Duke, getting destroyed by Duke, who is ranked 14. So there might be an outside shot of us getting in somehow. Clemson just lost to South Carolina. Let's check our conference standings. We are 7-2, but does not look like we're going to get in the conference title game because Pitt is 10-2. So let's go one more week, see if by some miracle we get into the playoffs, because right now we are way on the outside looking in. And we are playing Colorado in the Pop-Tart Bowl. I think we just declined to play in this, right? Because we didn't get in to the playoffs. That's Notre Dame's whole shtick, right? They declined to play in bowl games because they're throwing a tantrum. We were playing Colorado in the Pop-Tart Bowl. That is hilarious to see Notre Dame in the Pop-Tart Bowl. But this is what the bracket looks like. The Big 12 conference champion did not make it. I'm going to have to go look to see who that was. In conference championship week, Clemson beat Pitt barely 23-20. Baylor dominated Texas Tech. So Texas Tech still got in, but they got dominated 45-24. Wow. We should easily beat Colorado. We are the way better team overall wise, but we were the way better team against Pitt too and got dominated that game. So let's see if we can win the Pop-Tart Bowl. Let's jump in. Why not? It's the Pop-Tart Bowl. Who doesn't want to see the Pop-Tart Bowl? Oh my God. Love that. I've never actually seen the presentation for the Pop-Tart Bowl, so this is hysterical to see in a video game. Seeing a Pop-Tart slowly rise out of a microwave is hysterical. But again, we're going to be simming, so let's see how we do in the first quarter. We go down, actually, and we tie it up before the end of the first. 7-all heading into the second quarter. Colorado jumps out to a 13-7 lead before halftime. Let's go possession by possession here. Colorado kicks a field goal to take a 2-point lead, and we don't respond. Colorado gets the ball back, and we'll jump in here. Colorado has the ball with a 16-14 lead at their own 2-yard line. So hopefully we can get a stop, possibly a safety. No, the running back breaks free and picks up 7 yards. 3rd and 1 on the 10-yard line, and we need a stop here. Cannot let them continue to run this clock out in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And they pick up the first down, motion the running back out of the backfield. So empty backfield, most likely a pass, obviously. And they pick up the first down. It doesn't matter. They're not getting whatever they want this drive. 1st and 10 on the 38. They picked up 15 on that last play, and it's another handoff, and he goes for about 14 yards into our territory. They are chewing this clock up. Defense desperately needs to get a stop and get off the field here now. Quarterback play action and hits the open receiver for first down. Defense at this point just needs to hold him to a field goal. That way we can only be down 5. And hopefully soon, because it's going to get to the point where we need to start using our timeouts. And we finally give them the worst play of this drive, it feels like. Second and only a gain of 2 on a rush, and 2nd and 8. And they throw a little screen out to the flat to their tight end and only pick up 1 yard. So 3rd and 7 on our 33-yard line. If we can hold them to a field goal here, that'd be huge for us. They throw a bubble screen to the receiver, and we make the tackle, but drag them forward for 5 yards, but they are going to kick a field goal. This is huge for us. This is a huge stop that they decide not to go for it. And does he make it? It looks like he drilled that. So they take a 19-14 lead. So we're at the 38 now after starting on our 16-yard line. Still have all 3 timeouts, and we get about another pickup, about 14. Actually, it's more than that. But we are now in Colorado's territory, and we're moving the ball more than enough time now with all 3 timeouts. CJ Carr delivers again to Eli Raridan, who breaks a tackle, goes back behind the line of scrimmage, and still picks up 9. That was scary for a second. I thought he might get tackled for a loss of 1 when he could have picked up like 7, but he gets 9 instead. Again, no Jeremiah Love on this drive, but Eli Raridan, another catch, bringing the ball all the way to the 25-yard line. We are in striking distance of the end zone. We have not seen Jeremiah Love at all on this drive either. And we know CJ Carr fumbles the ball, and they scoop it, and they're going to score. Oh my God, this might be ball game. This is going to be ball game, most likely. Oh my God, what a disastrous turn of events there. We were driving down the field, getting whatever we wanted through the air. CJ Carr gets strip sacked, and they return it for a touchdown, a scoop and score touchdown. That is, wow, I'm just in shock. That is incredible. We might lose. We're going to lose to Deion Sanders and the Pop-Tart Bowl. This game's technically not over. There's a minute 45 left. We have all 3 timeouts, but we need a fast touchdown. And we had a great start there, picking up 13. And we call a timeout, which is not a good thing, smart thing to do, because we cannot afford it unless we're just going to go for an onside kick. But CJ Carr is taking his time and now decides to take off and scramble, and that's a great choice. Gets all the way down to Colorado's 48-yard line, and we are scrambling. That clock is still ticking, though, and he is taking his time again snapping that ball. And he dumps it off to Jeremiah Love, who drops the ball. Honestly, it's probably for the best there, because he would have gotten tackled and that clock would have just been running. And CJ Carr drops back again and throws it to Eli Raridan, who does not get out of bounds, gets tackled inbounds, and we use another timeout. 3rd and 2. The only Jeremiah Love we've seen in this game was a drop. And CJ Carr delivers and throws a strike out of bounds. We are at the 27-yard line. This last time we were in this area, we got strip sacked and they returned it for a touchdown. So we, this is kind of eerie. Not going to lie. And we get sacked again. This time, CJ Carr holds on, but we lose 2 yards, and more than anything, precious seconds are coming off that clock. We are scrambling. We have a tight end lined up at running back, and we throw it to the middle of the field, get a first down, but we need to hurry. Honestly, I call a timeout there at that point, but choose not to call a timeout, and we just spike the ball instead. I would have just called a timeout if you're going to spike the ball, because there's no point of holding on to the timeout at this time. You have to go for an onside kick if you score. So you throw the ball in the middle of the field, and we should call a timeout, but we're just going to continue running, hurry up. 40 seconds left, less than 40 seconds, 3rd down. Need basically to get in the end zone on this play. CJ Carr is holding the ball forever, and he decides to take off. Can he get in the end zone? No, he slides down, and we finally call our timeout. So we're on the 3-yard line with 29 seconds left, and we still are down 12. And, that was almost, I couldn't tell if that was a pick or not, but incomplete pass nonetheless. More than anything, we're losing time with the more plays we run. It means less time on the clock, and CJ Carr sails that one out of bounds. He did take a hit, but that was a terrible throw. 22 seconds left. Looks like more than anything we're going to lose this game to Colorado in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And Jeremiah Love scores. Gets in the end zone. There, finally we get to see some Jeremiah Love action. 26-21, and we have to kick an onside kick. And we need to recover it for any shot or hope at winning this game. And they immediately come up and make the play, recover the onside kick. And we're losing to Colorado and Deion Sanders in the Pop-Tart Bowl for a team who is, in real life, deciding not to play in a bowl game because they aren't in a conference and they're pouting because they didn't make the playoffs. In the sim here, they lose to Colorado in the ReliaQuest Pop-Tart Bowl. This was a worse year than they had in real life. We had 313 yards of offense. They had 226. CJ Carr went 21 for 37 for 228 and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad day at all by any means. Jeremiah Love, 16 for 69. Nice. 1 touchdown on the ground. Receiving, Eli Raridan had 6 catches for 55 yards. Jeremiah Love had 5 for 59 and 2 touchdowns. So he had 2 receiving touchdowns on the day. Let's look to see what even happened on this play. So does anyone get open? Any of our receivers get open in time? No, looks like we ran 4 verts essentially. That's exactly what we ran. 4 verts, and the center just gets shedded. Not immediately, but he gets shedded. CJ Carr looks to scramble, fumbles the ball, and then as he gets hit, the right guard gets pushed off, and 91 just takes it all the way. Wow. Marcus Freeman seeing the play happen. Has a little bit of an annoyance look there, probably as CJ Carr gets tackled, and then the rest of the way just stoic. He has no reaction to them scooping and scoring. So as CJ Carr gets hit, he's not even annoyed. He's annoyed when he realizes the ball's on the ground. Look at this screenshot. You got Marcus Freeman on the left here looking annoyed as CJ Carr is tackled. So Missouri wins the national championship. They beat Ohio State 34-31. A year removed from making the national championship, Notre Dame, you put them in the ACC conference. They are unable to even make the conference championship and end up losing to Colorado in the Pop-Tart Bowl. So safe to say Notre Dame should not join the ACC conference. Jeremiah Love had just under 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's a pretty good year for touchdowns-wise. A decent year on rushing yards. Receiving, our best receiver was Jordan Faison. Had 67 catches for 912 yards, so no 1,000-yard receiver for us. Rushing-wise, Jeremiah Love isn't even. But that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this. Notre Dame was not able to even make the playoffs. They lost in the Pop-Tart Bowl to Deion Sanders in Colorado. If you put them in the ACC conference. If you like this video, if you watched all the way to the end, please subscribe. Comment what conference you want me to put Notre Dame in next. I will do all the Power 4 and maybe just end up doing all the conferences. I don't know. We'll see. If you put Notre Dame in the ACC, what happens? They can't even win the Pop-Tart Bowl. But other than that, I'm out.